Yeah, I kind of ran with a bunch of
Oh
superstitions.
God.
Yeah, it's horrible. It's horrible. I'm
Oh,
sorry.
oh no.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Hello, my lovelies. I'm the Small Brit, as always, and this is Brit Finch. And today we have a very exciting video because it's my first collab ever with the amazing Fantasy Forge. Hooray! Massive props to him for agreeing to do this with me. It's been a lot of fun. As a quick disclaimer, this was, for both of us, our first ever time doing something like this. So you'll have to forgive us if our audio isn't balanced quite correctly, or you may notice there's a 1 second delay on one of our ends, so sometimes we talk over each other a little bit. But most importantly, it's two nerds who made some really cool stuff and had a really good time doing it. We both hopped on a call a couple of weeks ago just to kind of get our briefing, which you will see in just a second, and then we met up again online not too long ago to share our results. We actually looked at his first, so this is part 2. If you want to see part 1 where you see his just phenomenally really cool concept, then do head over to his channel, link will be in the description. But for now, sit back, relax, and once you've gone and watched his half, enjoy mine. I think it's fair to say that you and I had way too many ideas because we're just too artistic and enthusiastic for our own good. And I know you want to try maybe doing some more art-related stuff, and I kind of want to do some more tabletop RPG stuff. We've inspired each other. So yeah. So I thought what we could do, and you've added some words, my friends have added some words, I've added some words to this list. We can randomize, I was thinking either 3 or 4, and we can pick 3 of them or something like that. I'll let you decide the number, and it could be visual, it could be some writing, it could be something like that, but we need to design an NPC or a boss fight or some kind of person for a tabletop RPG setting, and we can do that however we want, but we're both going to be using those same words.
I'm definitely going to let you run the show.
Oh no. I am... Are you kidding? We'll just get moss every single time.
Yeah, moss. Moss.
But we'll do 4, so you can pick one moss to not have, you know?
Right, yeah, so it's just moss.
Yeah. Right, I'm just gonna warm up my clicking hand here. Whew.
I can hear the squeaking.
Thank you, that's my chair. Right. Number 1. I thought it was gonna hit moss. Mirror. Okay, mirror is our first word. 2. I maybe should have taken mirror out, but I feel like we probably won't get the same one twice.
Oh, whisper. Ooh.
Oh, okay. Whisper.
I'm trying not to react, so that I keep my ideas.
No, share them and then I can steal them.
The Small Brit stole my idea.
Yeah.
Ooh, love that.
Ancient. And yeah,
Ancient Whisper Mirror.
Ancient Whisper Mirror. And what I'll do is I'll do a 4th one, and then we can pick... we could use all 4 of the words, but it means we can drop one if we want to. If we're stuck for ideas. So this is you can pick one as a wild card.
Ooh.
Mask. Okay.
Fascinating.
So our 4 words, and we can use all 4, or we can drop one. So we've got some options there. Are mirror, whisper, ancient, and mask. And we have to design, and in whatever medium you want, but we need to make someone memorable for a tabletop RPG. Here we go.
Oh, wow.
So I got rid of so I got rid of ancient, and I went with whisper, mask, and mirror, and kind of both of us pushing ourselves out of our comfort zone a little bit. I'm just gonna send you the one of it active. This was very much me designing a mechanical thing, and specifically a boss fight or a like so you can see she's rooted to the spot. So my first thought was like environmental hazards, layer actions. You don't want, whenever you do like a boss fight, right, even if in this case she's rooted in this place, there to be like all of the players just come in and start bully circling your boss. You want to
Yeah.
kind of like spread them out a little bit, so it kind of forced me to be a bit creative. And this is for some tabletop RPG stuff I'm writing, so this is like a small supplemental. And the setting is very much inspired by like the World Fair, like a magical World Fair where everyone's got their
that's
like
awesome.
their gadgets and gizmos. And to cut a long story short, it's like something that's held inaugurally on the estate of like the greatest adventurers who ever lived, and they've got like a big vault beneath the estate. And every year during this grand exhibition, they just yank a couple of treasures out of this like immense vault, and they're like, "Hey, we're gonna have some competitions and some light-hearted stuff." And I was like, "There's 100% some abominations down there, like some real."
Definitely.
Like, oh papa, let's get the Eldritch Abomination out to do some parlor tricks for us. Like, it's got real,
Yeah.
it's got that energy. And so I literally have called this the Parlor Maid.
The parlor maid.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Thank you. Or Parlor Maiden, maybe. Watch this space. And I drew a lot of inspiration from how, you know, like the Victorians or like other groups were very funny about technology, but also very macabre. They had, I will stick a picture on screen right now. A creation called the Euphonia, which was a talking machine that had a woman's face. That was absolute nightmare fuel.
That sounds like it, yeah.
Yeah. And but they had all these things like, oh, if you have a photograph taken, it's going to steal a piece of your soul. And I kind of ran with a bunch of superstitions.
Oh, God.
Yeah, it's horrible. It's horrible. I'm sorry.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
What are you talking
is
about?
this?
She's got cute little curls.
Oh, my God.
She's got cute little curls. She's
Is
working.
that a bellows? Is that...
Don't question it. So
That's horrifying.
just like,
Oh my God, she looks like some sort of hellish camera.
she's horrible. I know.
Fucking robotic head. Oh,
Yeah.
boy.
So I was like basing it off of a lot of that kind of shit. And then at the bottom in the
I see the face in there.
yeah, at the bottom in the cage bit, you can kind of see like a zoetrope.
Oh, it's spinning.
Yeah, like the ones that you usually see like pictures in, but in this
Yeah,
case,
yeah,
it's
yeah.
just more mirrors, I imagine, like on the inside there. So when she like gets going, it starts to like spin.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah, thank you. And
You did a great job with the motion blur too. Like,
oh, thank you.
you can see that like you used the direction of the brush to kind of insinuate the direction of like the movement as well. Like little things like that people don't think helps, but it like such a subconscious
Yeah.
cue for us.
So in universe, she steals little pieces of the player's soul, and then she can use those to heal herself or animate like other dolls that are in the room or apply additional damage. She like burns through those pieces of the soul. Mechanically, when you enter combat with her, the DM will first ask each player to pick a d4, d6, d8, d10, d12, and d20 and lay them out in numerical order except for the d20, which is like last. So it goes countdown 12, 10, all the way down to 4, and then the d20 is last.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
She has a layer hack, and those are the only dice you're allowed to roll for the whole combat. If you go to roll a dice and hint, hint, for whatever reason you cannot, you must roll the next one lower, and that is because she steals your dice.
Oh. That's awesome. That's so cool.
Thank you. So her layer action is her stealing little pieces of characters' souls. She will steal them in the order of d12, 10, 8, 6, 4. If she takes your
I
d20 last, you immediately drop to 0 HP and start making death saving throws.
Yes, I love that.
Thank you. So there's a real race against time element with her where it's like you got to hit her hard and fast, but she's going to be using the dice that she takes from you to try and divide your attention. So you've got to kind of
that makes sense.
manage it because she's going to be using your dice to create stuff. And that is just a straight up layer action. She just gets to do that. And hopefully when this video comes out, I will have a kind of alpha, not yet play tested like set of stats for her if people want to have a go. They want to upset their players a little bit.
This is like the art, like the little I don't even know what the word is, but like the little spinning thing at the bottom, the
Oh, the zoetrope.
yeah, the I don't know what to call it. The filigree is the wrong word.
Filigree was what I was going for, so thank you.
Is filigree the right word?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah.
The filigree, I don't know if it's like Russian or Swedish or like it definitely has like an Eastern European like feel to it with like the color choices, and I love it.
Thank you.
I mean, it definitely like feels like standalone and like it doesn't feel like it's from that, you know what I mean? But
Yeah.
it gives off like that sort of vibe, and I love that so much because a lot of times when we think of fantasy, we lean into one specific culture, and I love seeing the inspiration of like the rest of the world, you know?
Oh, yeah,
That
for sure.
mirror is so well done. Are there little fingers wrapped
Yeah,
around that thing?
yeah, those two little
That's
guys.
awful.
Thank you. I'm glad it
I
upsets you.
love it.
As a DM, I'm
Yeah.
glad it upsets you. And it also, like, because it's got this real Fabergé egg thing, I can almost imagine her, like, them all, like,
It
folding
does have that
into it
feel.
and then folding out of it again. So you could have, like, a very dramatic reveal to the
Oh.
players.
Yeah, like arms crossed Dracula style, just kind of goes inside
Yeah.
of it. Oh. Or like a ballerina, that'd be even more
I think, yeah, like a
just like kind of
ballerina.
spinning out.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially with those heads, because I mean, you can't sneak up on
Yeah.
her. She's good.
Yeah, I love the joints. The joints are so cool. Like the little black parts in between the horrible flesh colored parts is just really cool. I love that like you can it almost feels like a toy that you'd be able to like remove an arm and like attach the other one, you know? Like you can really
Yeah.
feel how it like sockets in place and it's really cool.
Thank you so much. I was really going for that. I don't draw as much mechanical stuff as I should. And a lot of this was just cop out stuff. As long as it looks like it should work, you can kind of get away with a lot of stuff. That's always been my experience. So as long as it's kind of orc, like Warhammer orc logic, right? If I stick enough go fast stickers on this thing, it
Yeah.
will look like it should work. And so I think the whisper in this case is more, I think, how she would talk to the players, because in so many like D&D boss fights, they'll have like the boss screaming and doing all of that, and
Yeah.
hers is like a whisper, but I imagine one that you can like hear next to your ear, and it can like she can disorient people and stuff like that. Like I said, it's trying to keep the room open and keep the players kind of incentivized to not stick together, even though it's in their best interest to kind of bully circle her.
Yeah. I love the tiny little mirror there too.
Oh, thank you. I just kind of wanted to add some more decoration, but I also wanted to imply that, I don't know, like when they suck you into the big mirror, that it's kind of filtering down and being fractured and fractaled, and
Yeah, yeah.
it's like spinning around in the reflective mirrors down there, and she's just kind of like slurping, slurping a little bit of your soul.
It's funny because I was going to design a horrifying creature that I had in my head. The moment I saw the things, I was like, oh, like I know exactly what I'm gonna do. It was gonna be very like I don't know if you've seen people in those weird costumes where they walk on all fours,
Or like the still.
like on stilts.
Yeah.
I was gonna draw something like that with a weird, like almost like a no face from Spirited Away, but like you know more D&D-ified. But I couldn't fit it into my world, and I really wanted to do something from my world. I mean, I could have if I really wanted to just like shove it in, and so I went with a section, like a fact of my world.
Yeah.
But I was gonna design something like this, so I'm glad that you did. I think we flip-flopped on what we
Yeah.
on what we were gonna
Well,
design.
it's so funny you should mention the stilt walkers, because I mean, people who are watching my part of the video will have already seen this on screen, but for your benefit, I'm now sharing
Oh.
with you some of the concept sketches I did before I settled on her shape. And you might see a little friend,
Oh, that front one. Oh God.
the one with the one that's on all
That's
fours.
cool. Yeah.
People who have watched me struggle sitting my way through the speed draw will see like I was struggling with how to do her legs. There's like that ballerina style one. Then I was like, oh, what if
I
it's
love
like
that.
a big walking tank and she's just in it, in like a mirror embedded in it, which is that
Yeah,
kind of
yeah.
top right.
Like the tripod legs, I see that.
Yeah, and then the horrible beast creature has like a flat mirror face. So I was like just playing around with lots of like, I knew I wanted it to eat souls. That was out of context. That's a horrible quote.
That was the easy
But
part. yeah.
the easy part was I knew I wanted my players to be upset. That was the easy part. I did try and add more filigree to that kind of golden bit that attaches to the pillars at the top part of like the cage. You can see I've kind of done
Yeah,
some art
yeah.
shapes, but it was just getting too cluttered, I think, at that point.
Yeah, I mean it's so cool seeing the little pieces that you like the mirror. You can see the inspiration there.
Always use references. That's my one advice to anyone out there. Always use your
Yeah,
references.
such great advice. I didn't really feel like my thing was starting to come together until I was looking up like the lantern. I would never have been able to draw without without a
Oh god,
reference
yeah.
image.
Or like how shapes fit together is sometimes like how it
Hmm.
works. So like I didn't go quite as in depth with some of the mechanical stuff as some of the ones I referenced, but it was more the feel of them. Or like in my reference imagery, I ended up not using basically any of the robots second from the bottom, the kind of golden guy holding a rapier. But
Yes, yeah, that's pretty cool.
I did really like the shape of that kind of collarbone casing, which
Hmm.
is kind of what made it into the top of like her, I'm going to call it an egg, like her Fabergé egg thing. And then I also really wanted the idea of, because I've been playing tons of Outer Worlds, I
Oh,
love
cool.
that mixture of like Art Nouveau futurist, like retro futuristic. And I was like, I want
Yeah.
quilting. I want like Russian quilted bits and pieces. And I went to a friend of mine and they were like, this sketch is already looking, or the way you're describing it is an awful lot like some of the like Lies of P stuff. Because I was like,
Oh, the
there's
horrifyingly.
yeah, because it was like I was like, there's lots of guys in there, and I want some quilted stuff and some filigree. And they were like, your mood board is already looking, not in a bad way, but like you'll want to look at this. And sure enough, I mean, look at this guy. He's got lots of guys in there. He's quilted. He's got filigree. I was like, yes, this is just the reference I needed to kind of pull
Yeah, pretty
everything
cool.
to. It's so helpful, and I think it's easy to be afraid of copying things. Or I don't know about you, but a comment I get a lot on my videos is, "Ah, I had this idea. I guess I can't do it now because this is similar." And it's like,
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you can, absolutely."
Yeah, there's no reason. Yeah, everybody has their own style and their own way of injecting their idea. Yeah, I guess if there's anybody watching this that has that idea that because somebody else has done it, like no matter what kind of art you're doing, like there's really only so many ways of like taking this. There's no, how do I explain it? There's no, not that there's no original ideas, but it's really hard to not be inspired by the things that surround us. So of course you're gonna find little bits and pieces here and there that are similar to, but like your style, your voice, the way you put, your own touch into that is what makes it unique.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
100% that. What doesn't convey here is the amount of stress I went through trying to work out her torso before I decided to, or her lower body before I decided to bolt her into the ground. I'm very sorry. But then that kind of helped me with the mechanics because I was like, how's she going to move around the room? How's she going to do X, Y, Z? What's the vibe I want from her? And now it's more like, the hey, see, we got the Eldritch Abomination into the parlor maid. Let's all retire to the parlor
yeah,
and check it out. And yeah.
yeah, yeah. How many hours do you think you put into this?
Oh God, I don't know because so many creators on this platform, I work a full-time job on top of
So
this.
back and forth.
So back and forth, just chipping away at it. I want to say probably collectively, if I'm looking at the footage I've captured, about 3 or 4 hours. Maybe
That's insane.
it's
That's
just practice,
only
practice.
because I did probably about double. I put like 6 to 8 hours into mine, and yours just looks so polished.
I
It's
want to.
so crazy.
I want to say that's four. I think it's probably closer to the 4 or 5 hour mark now. I'm reviewing the footage if it's any consolation. And that
Man.
is just on this. So that's not including the mechanical stuff. Though luckily with the mechanical stuff, you can be like on the bus and just kind of thinking about it.
True.
And I've
Yeah.
been wanting to do something with a dice stealing mechanic for a while because I tried doing something similar a few years ago, but I wasn't as experienced a DM and it didn't quite work when I tried it with my players. And then when I saw Mirror and I started going down the weird rabbit hole of like Victorian gadgets and superstition and all of that, it kind of just all came together. So I kind of had time to think about this one.
No, this is really cool. It was a lot of fun to tackle this. I mean, I could go on forever.
I
Back
could go
and
on
forth
about
over
yours.
this.
Like honestly, it's so good, and I think the real big takeaway here is that we both, pushed ourselves out of our comfort zone. This is my first collab. I can't speak for you, but
Yeah,
this
yeah,
is like
same.
it's so exciting, and especially for me, and I feel like a lot with your channel as well, it's about pushing people to try new ideas and kind of expand and push out of your comfort zone, whether that's like D&D or like mechanical stuff or art. And it would make us massive hypocrites if we didn't try that ourselves. Yeah. So it was really cool to kind of try that with you.
I definitely learned a lot by just looking at your process here.
Oh, thank you.
As far as like what I would do, which is, that's the thing. Like I'm of the belief that you should surround yourself with people who are, again, I'm not trying to take away anything from myself. It's just the truth. The people who are better than you, right? And so I'm sort of like a masochist, I guess, in that sort of sense, because I don't enjoy video games if I'm good at them. It makes me feel like I have to work for it, and so I love surrounding myself with things that challenge me and make me have to try harder.
I'm exactly the same. Like it's so true, and like for me, kind of inverse of you, surrounding myself with people who are very good at stuff that I'm maybe less developed in. It's like I'm kind of in the baby stages of my like world building, and so when I first came across your channel and I saw the amount of work you put into it and the layers to it and the way you've done like audio drama, like chapter books, and I was like, I want to do all of those things, and he's so good at them. And so it was really cool to sit down and I think do what any of us who love tabletop RPGs will eventually do, which is try and take a system to pieces and see how far you can push it. And I hadn't really sat down and done that in such a long time, and it was good because I could feel my brain feeling full and exercised the way it used to do back at school. And I was like, okay, this is good. The grey matter's getting the workout that it needs.
Yeah. Get those wrinkles.
I got so enwrinkled by this challenge, like the most
enwrinkled.
I'm so enwrinkled. Yeah, just to put it out there, because I think it's easier to see a visual representation with art than it is like mechanics or the kind of level of world building that you do and how you like improve D&D stuff. So I just really want to put that disclaimer in here that my brain is very wrinkly now, and it wasn't before. It's wonderful.
Yeah, it's pretty great.
Obviously, I don't want to show all the details of his amazing stuff. That's what his video is for. But let me just say it was an amazing design. And once again, if I've not enticed you enough, go and subscribe to him. He's honestly a really wonderful human being. We have so much unused cut audio because we kept going on really nerdy tangents about history and D&D. He's just great to chat with, and hopefully this is not the last time that you'll see the two of us working together. The wonderful people you can see on screen right now are my Patreon supporters, and they let me do really fun, crazy, silly, creative things just like this. We recently hit 50k subs, and we finally got there, and I am just so blown away by your kindness and support, so thank you so much again. There will be a Q&A soon, but more importantly, I do have a little bit of a summer break coming up soon, so I'm trying to get a bit of a buffer and a backlog on my art videos, so hopefully at least soon I'll be posting a little bit more regularly. In the meantime, if you do want to check out my Patreon, there's some short stories from the world of Golden Bone on there, access to some high quality images from my videos, and also access to a secret part of our Discord, which you can join for free regardless in the link below, that gives you sneak previews of my videos, which is always fun, so do check that out if you're interested. Let me know your ideas from the 4-word prompts we got, if you have the time. And speaking of time, my lovelies, I will hopefully see all of you next time.